Hello again, everyone. This video is sponsored by contribution from Patty, and here's her story. Hi, Ollie. I was born in 1955. I had two narc parents, an alcoholic dad. They divorced when I was 3 years old. I am one of four girls, two brothers, and number 5 out of 6 siblings. The children were split in half, 3 going to each parent. I lived with mom. She was critical at times, loving at times. No real relationship with dad. Myself and my younger sister wet the bed in our teen years. Well, that's a sign of sexual abuse. I was painfully shy and quiet as a child. Creative, artistic, and comical. I loved to play. Did not apply myself at school, only had a few friends. Started smoking cigarettes, weed, and drinking alcohol in early teens. I was married to an overt narcissist when I was 22 years old, had 2 daughters during a 17-year marriage. He was verbally abusive to me. He cheated, and I was under his scrutiny and stress for years. I contracted rheumatoid arthritis at age 30. This waned after a couple of years, and I was left with fibromyalgia. I divorced that narc. He got custody of our daughters by using a power trip in the court system. I got into drugs and alcohol for years to cope with that shame. My oldest daughter went off to college. The youngest chose to live with me. This made me very happy. We were peas in a pod. I cleaned up from drug use, only occasional drinking. I concentrated on my daughter, my job, and my home life. Very little dating, but met another narc online, dated him for 4 months, then he discards me. I did not take it well, sought revenge by harassing him for a short time. This short encounter wounded me again. Fast forward to 2007, I relocate for a great job opportunity. Career was going well, compensation was highest I had ever earned. I am ambitious and motivated, in and out of work. I met D through online dating site. We fell hard for each other. He was coming out of a recent divorce, and shortly after we met, he moved into my apartment. We got married after 9 months. He is a covert narcissist. He was still looking for people online the week we were to be married. He said it was the same women he had talked to around the time we met. Okay, I let it slide. We built a life together, and I started to notice certain things about him. He gradually did not want to go out and do things we had been doing. He was lazy, a slob, had an obsession with smoking weed and watching television. He gets so involved in TV, he tunes out life. He has a good sense of humor, and we connected that way also. He told me that he loved me all the time, several times a day. He had concern about my health and what was going on in work, family, etc., as I did in return for him. Slowly, I began to notice that he had a lousy work ethic, no motivation in his personal or professional life. He does not smile a lot, show emotion. He has stoic demeanor. There were times when he would not display an expected reaction to an event in his or my life. One example is he was away for 2 months for job training. When he returned home, there was no smile or hug and kiss for me. He just stood at the bus stop. I approached him, and only then did he reciprocate. He said he did not feel good. Okay, you've not seen your wife for 2 months? He's antisocial with stranger neighbors and family. I often wondered if he was just shy or just arrogant. I was afraid to ask and afraid of the answer. I now know the answer. You see, I thought D was like me. He acted kind, loving, caring, compassionate, funny, and so on. Married for 8 years, his real personality showed through as being a passive-aggressive pessimist. He had one responsibility, to maintain employment, and that was a challenge for him. I worked part-time from home and handled everything else in our life. Over the years, he would go on the computer when I was not home. He would inadvertently leave something open, so I would check his internet history. He would be communicating with women again. I put his belongings by the front door and told him to leave. He hung around just long enough so that we talked things over and I changed my mind. He would stop searching for a while, but would always go back doing it. One time I saw him looking at men for men chat rooms. I thought he clicked on the wrong link. He would look at porn and read sex stories. He seemed to gravitate to any type of sex, male, female, rape, BDSM, from teens to grannies. I told him if he wanted to look at some of that, it was fine. Just do not contact real women. I do not know if he ever cheated on me in real life. I suspect he did. He denies it. He had ample opportunities. He's a truck driver and worked on and off the road. Last year, his company gave all the truck drivers Android tablets, and that was his undoing. I found him friending and chatting with Facebook strangers. It turns out most of them are not even real. Scammers ended up asking for money, but D is slow to catch on. So he's just taken with gorgeous photos of these hot women with big breasts. He was sharing details about our personal life, but telling them he was married, but just looking for friends to talk to. For fuck's sake, he hates talking to people and he has no friends in real life. I asked him to stop with the messages, but he would not. He felt that he was not doing anything wrong, made him feel good, and helped pass the time at work. I let him know this was unacceptable on any level. These messages evolved into him telling women that his marriage was probably over and he was looking for a new relationship. He would swing the conversation to sexual talk if they were willing. He claims not to lie, play games, or cheat. He was doing all of that, and he was doing all of that. He gave out his email, phone number, sometimes our address to numerous women. I was still living with him. I was furious. This went on for months. He sat at the other end of the couch messaging them while I was there. He was on dating and hookup sites, so many that I lost count after 12. I saw a lot of his internet activity because I know his favorite usernames and passwords. I contacted his second wife through Facebook messaging, and she had a lot to share with me. Dee acted this way in many past relationships. It was through her that I learned the terms narcissist and sociopath. I searched articles and videos to learn all that I could about these personalities. A lot of info rang true about him and myself. In July 2016, I filed for divorce and eventually left him and moved in with family members. He has made a couple of lame attempts to get back at me, which failed. I switched back and forth from being angry to being devastated over this man. There is some deep attraction that makes me think I still love him. It's very primal. He mentioned that he sold his PlayStation console and games. So it occurs to me that he must have a Craigslist account. Well, I log in and get the shock of my life. He posted ads as a dominant male looking for women to do what they are told. Will call him daddy and like to be humiliated. He also posted man for man, daddy looking for a sissy son to give him a long, long blowjob, etc. Wow, the truth in front of me, and I am shocked, but I said nothing to Dee about this. I cannot rock the boat because I want the divorce to be finalized. I do not know who this dominant male is. He was not in our bedroom. Dee was opposite of that. Boring, indecisive, negative dud, in and out of the bedroom. I was more than his wife. I was his mother and wanted to have a whore. I was his mother and he wanted to have a whore or two on the side. Not happening with me. Go find new people to use. All of this happened over the past 5 months and I'm still reeling from it. I have a lot of family support and now seeking psychiatric help and medication. I cannot shake the feeling I did not know who the hell I was married to and how callously he just threw me away. I'm too old for this at age 61. I am in a constant state of pain, physically and emotionally. I know my story is somewhat textbook. I know my story is somewhat textbook, but why does a good person go through life being a doormat instead of having a balanced life and a relationship with a guy? I am just codependent. Nothing I had with these guys was real. They end up being self-serving bastards. Hell, I admit I'm not perfect, but does karma have to fuck with me my entire life? I would appreciate any insights you have. I can make a small contribution at this time. Thank you. I love your videos and the knowledge you share. Patty. Well, Patty, I have a feeling that you're attracted to men who are like your father. And the wetting the bed into the teen years with you is a definite sign of sexual abuse. Look, with guys like this, it isn't even, I don't even think It's about him being gay or straight. It's about the debauchery. It's about, you know, it's about the taboo. It's about the debauchery. It's about, the crazy sex. Doesn't matter where it comes from. It's acceptance. See, with guys like this, and even some women, sexual acceptance is the ultimate form of acceptance there is. Whether it be from male or female, it doesn't matter. It's not even about the sex. It's about what the sex represents. And it represents acceptance. And that's why he's asking for more and more depraved shit. Because the more depraved shit he can get them to accept from him, the greater his supply. So he doesn't even necessarily have to have sex with them, but I can pretty much guarantee he is with both the men and the women. It isn't even, I don't even think it's about the sex with him. It's about the debauchery. It's about the taboo. It's about acceptance. Because that is the only way he can feel acceptance. See, once he had sex with you and married, he had his acceptance. All his supply from you is used up. You're just some kind of weird placeholder, kind of a status maker for a public image. But once he had you, the hunt is over. You've accepted him. Big deal. Now it's see, who else will accept me and how far can I take it? He's dangerous and he's sick and he hates himself. Doesn't matter whether he's gay or not or straight or not. He'll have sex with men, women, whatever. I don't even think it's about the sex. It's not about the sex. It's about what the sex represents. So, thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your story. I'm sorry I missed it. This one was a while back. She emailed me and said, hey, you missed one. So thank you for pointing it out. I hope this helps. I hope this makes some sense to you. I hope everything works out better for you in the future. And this isn't karma catching up with you. This is your abuse and you haven't gotten into it enough. You need to understand your past to understand what's coming in your future and why you've been doing what you've been doing. So thank you once again. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a narcissist you'd like to expose or a topic you'd like me to cover, you know what to do with the PayPal and my email link in the description box. And remember, when you do email me, please put at the top of the email whether it's with or without contribution and what name you'd like to go by. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. See you all again shortly.